Hey YouTube fam, I'm about to show you how I style and lay this wig from start to finish. If you want to see, keep watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe right down below. Hey, so first I'm starting off by placing a cap on my head, but before I do that, I always want to make sure I'm moisturized under my wig. I'm going to be using Kaleidoscope Miracle Drops. I switch between what kind of moisturizer I'm going to use depending on how long I plan on keeping the wig on for. So this one works pretty well for if I'm keeping it on for like maybe 4 or 5 days. It'll keep my hair moisturized. Next, I'm going in with Got to Be Glued, and this is just pretty much just to lay my edges down to make sure that once I start placing the cap, I don't lose my edges. I look like I'm missing something now, but it's there. I just have really light edges. Um, so I'm just taking a toothbrush, my handy dandy toothbrush, and brushing it back, and I'm placing the cap on. I do not sew my braids up, only because I take my hair out probably like once a week. So now I'm going to take the spray Got to Be Glued, once I make sure that's laid down, and spray all around my edges. Make sure I hit my widow's peak because I want the cap to cover that also. And this is just to protect my edges. I'm now taking a blow dryer and I'm putting it on the cool setting. That blue button was the cool setting, and I'm using that to make sure that my edges are protected completely. Now I am going to take a little, yeah, I'm thirsty, but I am going to take a little bit more Got to Be Glued and spray it a little further back onto my hair, but I want to make sure I protect the edges first. So once I have that all taken care of, I'm going to cut the lace off. I'm sorry about the lighting going out, lighting going in and out. I'm using natural light, so it was acting a little shady for me, but you can still see what's going on. So be careful when you're cutting around your ear. Your ear is very sensitive. I have cut my ear many a time. So I'm just cutting away all the excess from the cap and making sure I get it as close to the hairline as possible. You do not want any of this balled up under your wig because you will be able to see it. Now I'm just taking the same Got to Be Glued, the spray, and just laying down the excess parts of the cap that I did not want to cut. So I couldn't decide between bowl hold and ghost bond glue. Sorry, my bowl hold label was a little jacked, but I decided on bowl hold. I'm now taking ice appropriate. Don't judge me. Well, 90% proof alcohol, and I'm just cleaning around my edges. I am using a cotton swab and that a Shiseido cotton pad, and that's only because I know they're not going to leave any residue. I'm putting a thin layer, it looks thick, but I'm going to spread it out. I'm putting a thin layer of glue onto my head and spreading it out as thinly as possible with a popsicle stick. And these are the regular popsicle sticks you can buy from the dollar store. They come with like 100. You can use the back of a comb. Once it's dry, I realized I didn't tip my cap, and I went back to do that. I'm trying to get it as close to the front of the lace, but without getting it on the glue that I already placed. So that's why it's still a little bit lighter at the front. I missed steps too, guys, but I couldn't go back. So I'm just laying my second coat of glue, and I did 3 coats of glue this time. I usually do about 3 to 4 coats, depending on how long I want to keep it on. I sweat pretty bad, so I try to make sure I'm compensating for that. I try not to put it on the cap, but it gets on there. Sorry if this is blurry, but I'm just placing more glue on the opposite side of my head. So this is the 3rd layer of glue. I could have probably cut this part out, but I just wanted you to see how much glue I actually laid. And then we're going to move into placing the wig. Now, this time I did apply a little bit too much, but I'm going to smooth it out. So this is the wig I custom made myself. I'm using hair from AliExpress company called Sunshine Light, I believe. I'll leave the company down in the description. Um, the hair isn't horrible. Well, let me say this: the lace front is one of the better lace fronts I've had, but the bundles are not. So I don't know what's up. The lace front doesn't tangle, but the bundles do. Now I should have let that dry a little bit more, but I liked it to be translucent before I placed my wig. But I was starting to be a little rushed because I still had to do my makeup before I went out. So I was just like, let me hurry up and get this on, and I'll just lay it with a scarf. But yes, I'm placing my wig, and I'm using the back of my comb, my little edge layer to put it down. So I'm just cutting off the excess lace. Every now and then when I put my wigs back on, I seem to have extra lace. I don't know if it's because I'm pulling the edges or what, but I try to cut that off so it's not like super noticeable that this is a wig. So right here again, I'm just trying to cut the little excess parts of the lace off so that they're not showing as much, and I'm trying to make my wig look as natural as possible. Right here, I wasn't paying attention. My wig balled up a little bit. So I'm trying to find my comb so that I can pull it out and flatten it. And then once I do, it looks like scalp. Almost. You see how it's white right there because I did not let that dry, and now I'm putting my finger on it. I repeat, do not place your hands onto your wig when the glue is white. It does not help. For some reason, the oils in your fingers do not make it any better. Now, I took the same cotton swab, and I was just sitting there trying to clean up the mess that I made. I'm adding a little extra glue because once I took the alcohol and tried to clean up that spot, it was like it lifted up a little bit. So I'm not pressing it down just yet. I just placed the glue, and I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. I'm trying to make sure all of that is laid, and as you can see from this side, we have a wig, and it's laid. I'm just brushing through, making sure there's no kinks and kinkles or, whatever. I didn't do a hard press on this. I did a light press. This is their body wave hair, so I just wanted to press it out before I curled it because I was going to use a barrel curler. You'll see me use the barrel curler, but in the end, I did a wand curl to define the curls better. So now I'm just parting the hair to make my ponytail at the top. And when I say you should have a fan, or make sure you have some kind of air blowing towards you so that you do not get hot. Because when I say I was hot, sis was hot. Right here, I'm just spraying a little oil sheen to slick it down and give it a nice little shine. So once I get it all parted, I'm just pulling it up into a ponytail. I do not recommend you tilting your head forward as you're pulling the ponytail in, and I do not recommend you pulling on the lace frontal because you will have your lace buckling. So once I got that pulled up, I just pulled out a little bit of baby hairs. I don't really do too much baby hairs. I just try to make sure it's covering up, bits and pieces. But I kept pulling the ponytail in front, and that was a mistake on my behalf. But once I got the ponytail in, it was a little leaning towards the front because I did not keep my head upright, which I learned that the hard way, but it still looked cute, so I was okay with it. I'm now taking a bundle of hair, which I should have used a half because this was too much hair. I'm taking the tip of the bundle, and I'm just wrapping it around, completely around the ponytail so as to secure it. I'm so sorry, guys. My battery died, and I did not know this, and I was still wrapping it before I realized it. Once I realized it, I turned it back on, but by then the ponytail was on. So we're just gonna go straight into styling. But I just want to say pretty much all I did was just continue to wrap it, take a piece at the end, and then wrap it around and secure it with bobby pins as I went along. Right now, I'm just laying my edges down. As I said, I do not place a lot of edges. And you can see what I mean about the ponytail being towards the front. But I'm just taking a regular Baby Bliss curling rod. I don't want tight curls. I'm just loosely curling it just to give them some kind of formation and make them look, a little sultry. So the ponytail did lay to one side mostly only because, that's the way I placed it. If you don't want it leaning to the side, if you want it like sitting right in the middle, I recommend you moving your ponytail back some. The further it is in front of your face, it'll pick a side, basically. It will decide for you what side it's going to be on. So I just threw the hair around so that I could curl the rest of my hair. And I'm not curling all of it. I'm just picking sections, just giving it loose barrel curls just to, give it a little wave. I make the weirdest faces when I'm doing my hair. Like, I be so serious. Now, as I said, I did them with barrel curls. It was looking too promy to me, so I went in with a wand curler and recurled it. I did not record that because it was like a last minute adjustment, and I had already took my camera equipment down. But this is pretty much how I would curl it with a wand curler, except, you're wand curling it. Hey y'all, so this is the final hair look. How do y'all like it? I had to recurl it. I didn't like the way the barrel curls were coming out, so I just took a wand curler and loosely curled it. I'm running late for going out. I will have about 2 more videos posted between this will probably go up first, then the tutorial on this makeup look. If you want to see this, it's going up probably right after this, maybe a day or 2 later. And then I have another tutorial about a few things that I've picked up recently, recent purchase, along with a couple of new monthly faves. Thank you guys. Bye.